Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In a devastating update, a loved one of a Sister Wives cast member disclosed that they are presently receiving treatment for a rare and aggressive illness. Over the years, a number of Sister Wives cast members have experienced significant health issues. Christine Brown talked about her experience losing weight, and her worries about diabetes. Mary Brown has talked candidly about emotional stress and how it affects her health. Particularly after experiencing mobility challenges, Janelle Brown has been outspoken about her attempts to enhance her physical well-being via nutrition and exercise. Kody Brown has also had issues with exhaustion. The cast members' differing perspectives on health frequently mirror their age, personal hardships, and the strain of upholding intricate familial relationships. Jen Sullivan posted a photo of herself and her husband Sean on Instagram. The photo was shot on their 19th anniversary, right before he started his painful sarcoma therapy. It is a rare and aggressive cancer, according to Jen. She disclosed that Sean has had 2 major surgeries since February 2025, including the removal of a third tumor that had grown undetected just outside the radiation region, and 5 weeks of radiation therapy. Sean's lengthy and agonizing recuperation process began when he was diagnosed with cancer. Sean is gradually getting stronger, despite the toll that treatment and recovery have taken. He's even begun going back to the store whenever he can. As they continue to operate under modified hours during this trying period, the family sincerely appreciates the community's understanding and patience. Jen and her family first decided to keep the diagnosis a secret in order to protect their kids from needless anxiety. They wanted their children to have as much normalcy as possible at the end of the school year. The family has made the decision to tell their tale in public now that their kids are aware of it and feel secure about their future. During this trying period, the support of friends, clients, and Sister Wives fans has been tremendously significant. Kind actions and encouraging messages will cheer them much more than words can express. Sean's family is incredibly appreciative of the love, patience, and steadfast support that both fans and well-wishers have shown them, and they are still hopeful and committed to getting better. Mary's close friend Jen frequently appears with her on Fridays with Friends. Jen has recently experienced health issues of her own. Their weekly ritual was momentarily put on pause when a non-cancerous uterine growth was discovered, and she underwent a hysterectomy. When Jen went MIA, fans were worried, but with Mary's steadfast support, she is now concentrating on getting better. Mary will definitely be there for Sean during his fight with cancer, supporting her close friend Jen over the entire ordeal. Mary, who is renowned for her devotion, has been there for Jen and has supported her. It is anticipated that she did the same for Sean, who had to undergo several operations and radiation treatment. As Mary provides love and light throughout one of Jen and Sean's most trying times, Sister Wives viewers have always appreciated how her fortitude and unwavering presence embody her principles. Christine Brown Woolley is traveling, but not with Kody Brown or the TLC cameras this time. Fans are ecstatic about the Sister Wives star's recent social media announcement of her official book tour. The initial book tour. On Tuesday, the TLC personality shared her good news on Instagram. She posted a poster with further information about her tour along with a few pictures. She also provided information on where to purchase tickets and obtain additional details. "Us" was the caption for her big reveal. "I can't wait. I am heading out. Growing hard, I'd love to see you on my official book tour, which is now available." She also stated that the first 4 cities on her tour would be. The tour will involve celebrating the book, real talk, and a whole lot of joy, she continued. Her memoir, Sister Wife, Living My Truth, Loving My Life, was initially revealed earlier this year, and the tour is being promoted in support of it. Fans respond excitedly. Supportive and immediate fan responses were received. "Congratulations on your book," wrote one fan. "Come to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, please. I would be delighted if you could sign my book." "King's English is an awesome bookstore," said another follower. "It was there that I met Carolyn Jessup for a book reading. I'm going, I swear. I've followed your journey, and it's truly amazing. So are you," was the finest way one fan put it. Others stated that they intend to pre-order the book and that it is currently sitting in their Amazon cart. The majority of fans are probably going to purchase one, and it might even make it to the bestseller list. Additional details regarding the tour. Tickets are already available on the internet for individuals who want to attend the events. They are available on websites such as Powerhouse Arena, Eventbrite, Event Combo, and King's English Bookshop. Christine's book is expected to discuss her polygamous life, her public split from Kody Brown, and the happiness she's experienced in her current union with David Woolley. Indeed, since her debut on Sister Wives in 2010, Christine has made significant progress. One fan recommended Carolyn Jessup's book Escape, which you should read if you haven't already, because it goes into great length on the potential struggles faced by women in polygamous relationships. Perhaps the holes that aren't shown on TV will be filled by Christine's forthcoming book. She is demonstrating that life after polygamy can be joyful and purposeful with a book, a new spouse, and now a multi-city tour. She had always been strong. The one who smiled through the storm, held her head high when the cameras zoomed in, and offered quiet wisdom even as her family unraveled in front of millions. But now, stripped of the bravado, stripped of the show's polished filters and carefully edited confessionals, this Sister Wives star sat in her living room, wrapped in a blanket, eyes hollow, voice low, as she detailed what she called the most painful chapter of her life yet, the post-surgery aftermath of her cancer battle. Weeks had passed since doctors had removed a rare tumor nestled dangerously close to her spine and kidneys. The surgery, hailed as a success in medical terms, had been brutal in reality. "They got the cancer," she whispered in a new confessional-style video, eyes filled with unshed tears, "but they left me with pain I couldn't have imagined. I thought the worst was behind me when I woke up from the operation. I was wrong." What followed was a storm of pain, physical, emotional, and spiritual, that she hadn't been prepared for. The intense nerve damage from the procedure left her with burning sensations down her legs, tremors in her hands, and days where even sitting up straight felt like climbing a mountain. The pain meds barely dulled it. "I would wake up screaming," she admitted, her voice cracking. "There were nights when I'd forget I wasn't dying. I'd feel my body on fire and think the cancer had come back. Her body had betrayed her," she said, even as it tried to heal. She'd always been active, doing her own yard work, hiking, loading up her SUV with groceries, but now she struggled to make it to the bathroom unassisted. Her muscles had atrophied, her weight fluctuated, and her once glowing complexion faded beneath dark circles and frustration. "I lost myself," she confessed. "There were days I didn't recognize my reflection. I would cry just putting on socks. Something as simple as brushing my hair felt like a war. And I was losing." Worse than the physical pain was the isolation. Her adult children, though loving and supportive, had their own lives and work schedules. The former Sister Wives checked in, but often from a distance. Christine sent care packages. Janelle FaceTimed daily. Mary left uplifting voice memos. But Kody? Silence. Not a single call. Not a message. Nothing. And it cut deeper than she wanted to admit. "It's not that I needed him," she said, wiping away tears. "It's that I realized I never had him at all. Even in my most vulnerable moment, even with cancer, he couldn't show up. Not even as a friend. Not even as a co-parent. That was a new kind of pain." Fans watching the video responded in waves. Thousands of messages poured in, stories from survivors, words of encouragement, and outrage directed at Kody for what many called emotional abandonment. But she didn't dwell there. This wasn't about revenge or bitterness. It was about telling the truth. And the truth was, post-surgery recovery is messy, agonizing, and invisible to the outside world. Social media showed smiling selfies, but behind the scenes were hours of PT exercises, fainting spells, and anxiety attacks so severe she had to sleep sitting upright. "I didn't want to be dramatic," she said, "but the pain became my shadow. Every step, every movement. I started questioning if surviving the cancer was a blessing or just a new prison." Her honesty struck a nerve. Health wasn't just about survival. It was about recovery, dignity, and the silent war millions of women fight after the cameras stop rolling and the diagnosis fades from the headlines. You don't just bounce back, she said. You crawl. You beg. You scream. And if you're lucky, you heal a little more each day. One of the hardest parts? Losing her independence. She could no longer drive long distances. Walking upstairs took 20 minutes. Showering required assistance. And she hated it. I never wanted to be someone who needed help, she said, voice brittle. But now I'm someone who has to ask. And it's humiliating sometimes. Humbling too. But mostly, it's lonely. Still, there were bright spots. Christine visited in person one weekend, holding her hand through the worst of a pain flare-up and even cooking a week's worth of meals. We didn't talk about Kody. We didn't talk about the show. We just talked like women who've been to hell and clawed our way back. Janelle also booked a flight to spend a weekend helping with physical therapy appointments and joked, "If I have to drag your butt up those stairs myself, I will." And slowly, through the cracks of pain and exhaustion, a flicker of hope returned. She began walking to the mailbox again. She journaled. She rejoined a cancer survivor support group. And one day, she looked in the mirror and said, "I made it through the fire." Her post-surgery battle isn't over. She still needs nerve therapy. There are still bad days, days when the world spins, and her bones feel like they're cracking open from the inside. But she no longer feels like a ghost of herself. She feels like a woman reborn. Pain teaches you what matters, she said near the end of her video. And what matters is not how fast you recover, but that you never stop trying. That you never give up on healing, even when no one claps, even when no one watches. And with that, she stood, slowly, carefully, hand on the armrest, and smiled. Still sore, still scarred, still standing. And for the first time in a long time, that was more than enough. The moment Christine Brown stepped onto the stage of the crowded bookstore in Salt Lake City, a thunderous cheer erupted, one that echoed with not just support but a kind of reverence, a collective exhale from fans who had watched her journey from heartbreak to healing. Dressed in a vibrant sage green blazer that matched the cover of her debut memoir, Christine beamed from ear to ear as the first stop of her highly anticipated national book tour kicked off with emotional power and palpable electricity. The memoir, boldly titled Becoming Me, My Journey from Sister Wife to Soul Survivor, had already rocketed to the top of bestseller lists within 48 hours of release, fueled by explosive excerpts detailing her life behind the scenes of Sister Wives, the good, the bad, and the soul-crushing. But this wasn't just a publicity run. This was Christine Brown's reclamation tour, a victory lap, a rolling thunder of self-love, accountability, and female empowerment. This book is for every woman who lost herself in someone else's story, Christine said into the microphone, her voice steady yet laced with emotion. It's for those who forgot they were allowed to have dreams of their own. The crowd, packed with women of all ages, survivors of toxic marriages, single moms, book club members, and even a few men holding copies for their wives, roared in agreement. Christine's message resonated because she didn't sugarcoat her path. In the book, she lays it all out. The years of neglect, the quiet tears, the moment she begged for crumbs of affection from a man who had given his heart entirely to another wife while expecting her to stay loyal and silent. She wrote about the nights she cried in parking lots, the way her children noticed her unhappiness long before she admitted it, and the day she looked in the mirror and finally said, "I deserve more than this." And now here she was, not hiding behind Kody's shadow, not edited into a background character, not the patient, passive wife waiting for love to return, but the star of her own story on a book tour spanning 12 cities, with stops in Phoenix, Las Vegas, Dallas, Denver, Chicago, and even a primetime guest appearance on The View. Each city brought out bigger crowds, louder cheers, and more tears as Christine hugged fans who shared their own journeys of leaving controlling relationships, starting over, or simply reclaiming their voices. "She saved me," one woman in Denver said through sobs. "Watching her walk away gave me the courage to do the same." In between readings and signings, Christine gave candid interviews to major media outlets. On Good Morning America, she looked poised and powerful, describing how writing the memoir became a form of therapy. Every chapter was like opening a wound, she admitted, but also like letting the poison out. I wasn't just writing about my past. I was forgiving myself for staying so long and honoring the woman I've become. And the woman she's become is a force to be reckoned with. Traveling with her husband David Woolley, her first and only monogamous partner, Christine radiated joy as they toured bookstores, met fans, and explored each city between stops. David, often seen carrying her book bag and beaming with pride, was by her side at every panel, photo op, and meet and greet. Fans adored their dynamic. It's not just that she found love again, one reviewer wrote. It's that she learned how to love herself first. And now, her life feels like a reward. In Dallas, a fan asked Christine if she'd ever go back to polygamy. She paused, smiled, and said, "Absolutely not. Once you taste peace and freedom, you never go back to chaos and compromise." The crowd exploded in applause. Her honesty was sharp, but never cruel. She didn't bash her former family, though the memoir didn't hold back on the dysfunction, favoritism, and emotional neglect she endured. Kody was painted in unflinching detail, self-centered, emotionally distant, and increasingly dismissive. Robyn, while not the direct target, was noted as the tipping point where the family stopped being plural and started becoming unbalanced. It wasn't just about love, Christine said during a Q&A in Phoenix. It was about respect. And when that goes, everything else eventually falls apart. Backstage, her daughters traveled with her on select stops, offering hugs, tissues, and the occasional pep talk. "You're doing this for you, Mom," Isabel whispered before Christine went on stage in Seattle. And for all the women watching. By week 3 of the tour, Christine had gained national attention. Bookstores added extra security to manage the crowd sizes. Fans waited in lines that snaked around buildings. Social media erupted with posts tagged #ChristineBrownTour and #BecomingMe, many accompanied by photos of women holding the book and wiping away tears. TLC producers took notice. Rumors swirled that Christine's book tour might be turned into a Sister Wives spin-off or docuseries, focusing on her post-Kody era. "We're in talks," Christine coyly admitted during an LA signing. "But if I do it, it'll be on my terms. My truth. My way." And that's the essence of Christine Brown's journey, doing it her way. No more sharing holidays with someone who forgot her birthday. No more moving houses for a man who refused to move his heart. No more sacrificing herself for someone else's ego. As the final tour stop wrapped in San Diego with a surprise standing ovation and a bouquet of sunflowers from David, Christine looked out into the crowd, overwhelmed with gratitude. "I don't know what's next," she said. "But I do know this. I'm not afraid anymore." And with that, she closed the book, wiped a tear, and stepped into her future. Not as a former wife, not as a reality star, but as an author, a survivor, and a woman reborn.